hero because I overcame sexism and anti-Semitism to fight for people's rights. I was born March 15, 1933 in Brooklyn, New York to Nathan Bader and Celia Amster. Sadly, when I was 2 years old, my sister Marilyn Bader died of meningitis at the age of 6.
For many years, I went around the world trying to get support for making Israel an official country. After World War II, I helped negotiate with England so that England would not rule over Israel. Later, I helped people immigrate from displaced persons camps to Palestine. Later, I was elected as the Jewish Agency Chairman in 1935. I became Israel's first Prime Minister in May of 1948 when I was 62 years old. I was elected from the Labour Party on the first day of being Prime Minister. Israel was under attack by Jordan, Iraq, Egypt, and Syria.
Graduated at age 15. I went to New York School of Medicine and graduated in 1939. I then became a researcher and researched the flu. I met up with a good friend who studied vaccines. He made me want to study vaccines too. I then moved to Pittsburgh and started studying polio. Have you ever moved from state to state? Polio is transmitted through contaminated food or drink and by air. Scientists discovered that in the mid-1940s. The symptoms of polio are sore throat, fever, tiredness, nausea, headache, body pain, feeling faint, and paralysis. The first polio vaccine was made by me in 1955.
Even though my family was Jewish, I doubted that there was a God. In 1942, I graduated from Smith College, an all-girls college, with the highest honors. And in 1943, I moved to California to continue my studies at UC Berkeley. In 1944, I applied for a column in the school newspaper, only to be rejected. At the time, all of the school's newspapers focused on men's possible occupations and on women's love lives. So I decided to start my own newspaper that focused on women's personal lives outside of school lives. As I continued my studies of physics, my boyfriend, who was also a physicist, grew jealous of me and gave me a choice: continue my studies or quit and stay with him. I don't know why, but I decided to abandon my studies. Have any of you ever had to make a really hard choice?
And/or similar languages, like Arabic. There were some words that didn't even exist in ancient Hebrew, such as ice cream. I remembered an old Hebrew word, galid, which meant to freeze water. Flipped through the pages of my books and saw the Latin word gelidus, which meant ice cold. I combined the word galid and gelidus to create a word that's familiar to most Hebrew speakers to this day. Do you know it? Adi?
Lida.
Yeah, Lida. As I once said, making a new word is like solving a mystery or putting together a puzzle. Not only did I create words, but I also created some idioms and other phrases.
As David Copperfield. I was born in September 1956 in Mentonton, New Jersey. My father, Hyman Kotkin, owned a men's clothing shop. My mother, Rebecca Kotkin, worked for an insurance company. I performed magic in front of live audiences in 1972, when I was 16. By that time, I was pretty well known around New Jersey. Soon after, I got invited to be a member of the Society of American Magicians as their youngest member. After that, I got invited to be an adjunct professor at the New York University when I was still in high school. I am known for my amazing never-seen-before stunts. I made the Statue of Liberty disappear in 1983. I also walked through the Wall of China in 1986. The Niagara Falls stunt was in 1990.